Welcome to my channel, Princess Petals and Fairy Dust Florals. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Princess Petals and Fairy Dust Florals. If you'll like and subscribe below, that'd be fabulous. What we're going to do today is we are going to work on taking inexpensive, or even if you want to call them cheap, flowers from like the Dollar Tree, Walmart. These I actually ordered offline, but silk botanical is what we like to call it in the floral industry. And we're going to take them and make them look fabulous. We can do this for wedding bouquets, corsages, boutonnieres, office arrangements, anything you can think of to do silk flowers in. Just spruce them up so they're not looking so dull and cheap. But you can definitely take flowers from like the Dollar Tree, and the Dollar Tree definitely has a larger variety of silk botanicals, or silk flowers if you want to call them, than they used to have. And that's a great thing. Let's get started. One of the things I like to tell my class is use what you have. So we are going to take, I love iridescent glitter. We're going to take a little bit of glitter. I'm going to pour a little pile of it in a paper plate. And I'm going to try it two ways to see which way works better. I've got my glue pan running. I'm going to take some just plain old Elmer's glue, put that in another pan, another plate, and we'll see which one looks best. Okay, now I love all the different greenery that this has on it. You can see like different textures. It looks, that little curlicue reminds me of a green monkey tail. I love it. I love working with monkey tail when I am able to get my hands on it. But online, when I ordered these, the description was peonies. Now if you look at that, you can tell that is a small peonies compared to what peonies get inside. First thing I'm going to do is take it, we're going to try the glue first. I'm going to pull the greenery away from it. I'm going to try a couple of different ways. I'm going to dip the flower head in that glue. And I'm going to take the glitter. And this is exactly what they do when you find at Walmart or any of the Hobby Lobby stores, where you get, you know, that frosted Christmas look. But I also like to use frosted and sparkles and sprinkles for wedding stuff. It just makes it look a little fancier. We're gonna start doing these. That's the first attempt with Elmer's glue. The next one, I'm going to use my glue pan. See how that turns out. Not as well, apparently. My glue's not hot enough. I had it turned up higher and it was smoking. See, I got a lot of glue strings, which I don't know how that's going to work, but that's not going to work. I need it hotter. All right, give me a hot minute. Something else I like to use is this Design Master glitter aerosol. I love using this stuff on any of my wedding work, on Christmas arrangements, Valentine's arrangements. I always use this. I go through cans and cans of this stuff. It gives it an instant sparkle finish. It's fabulous. When I'm selling it, you have to charge for absolutely everything. So I charge $1 every time I hit a spray of it on something. And that way, you know, however many arrangements I hit, $1 each, the can's paid for before I even get halfway through the can. Definitely worth the investment and charging it, upselling it to your customers and clients. Sometimes I don't even tell my clients. I just add it in and just mark it into the cost. And when they see the arrangement or the bouquets, they are just in love with it. They love it. Just because it just makes it more special, sparkly, and fancy for the day of, especially in wedding work. So I'm really thinking that the using the Elmer's glue in the pan is a lot better than using my glue pan, because when I use the glue pan, if you can see this one, it came out very clumpy, and clumpy on the greenery also. So lesson learned, Elmer's glue for adding bedazzle sparkles to your flowers is better than the glue pan. All right, there's all different kinds of techniques for using glue on flowers. Use the spray glue and then sprinkle the glitter over top of your flower. Then I just am always looking for the most efficient and quickest way to do a project when working with the flowers. Again, because once you're in the industry, it's all about getting your flowers done in the most effective and efficiently time frame possible, because when you're in the industry, you're up against deadlines as far as getting arrangements delivered, arrangements to the funeral home, the hospitals, because they all have set times that those arrangements have to be there. I know when I was at when I first started in the industry, all arrangements had to be to the hospital by 11 a.m. All arrangements had to be to the funeral home by 5 p.m. And those practices are set in place specifically because hospitals, they don't have a paid staff. Well, the hospitals that we deliver to, they have their volunteers come in and deliver those to the patients. And it was their responsibility, and they were only there for certain period time frames, and so that's why. And the same with the funeral homes. Funerals start at 6 or 7 p.m. and they want to have all arrangements delivered by 5 so they can have everything set up ready for the family to come in and guests to receive. You just want to make sure that you check with your hospitals, funeral homes, and even when you're delivering, call ahead, find out what are the best times for delivery. While we're waiting for the glue to dry, I wanted to give y'all some technical jargon, and I'm going to read you a little bit of a paragraph from the AIFD book, just because they are leaders in the industry and they have the most upfront and current information to supply. We're going to be looking at elements and principle of floral design. In the AIFD guidebook, the term elements and principle of floral design is a collective one which refers to attributes, characteristics, and artistic guidelines, tangible as well as intangible, that are part of every floral composition. Specifically, the elements of design are the directly I need to practice this. Specifically, the elements of design are the directly observable components or ingredients of a design and include such aspects as line, color, texture, among others. The principles of the design are the aesthetic influence derived from the observation and interpretation of the natural world, the so-called laws of nature, which customarily serve as guidelines for the artistic organization of the elements into a pleasing composition. Among the recognized principles are such concepts as balance, contrast, and rhythm. Great information to have. If anybody has any questions, shoot me a remark, and I can definitely give some clarification if you're not clear on what AIFD is terminology they're using here. But I always love to share information. And now for our drying flowers. I have many brides that come to me and they want silk flowers or fresh flowers, and I am more than willing to do it all, but I do tell them silk flowers are beautiful, and what is out on the market today is definitely improved than what it used to be years ago, and it's constantly improving. So I know in one of my classes I was teaching about doing wedding flowers for silk flowers, and one of the comments one of the students made was, well, silk flowers look so cheap. Well, you know, some do, absolutely. I don't disagree with that, but the quality of silk flowers has come a long way from what it used to be. These are not that bad, I don't think. I know you can go into any of the stores, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and you can find some really nice quality silk flowers. And those are usually the ones you want to use for wedding work. Although I have brides that have brought me all of their silk flowers and say, I want you to put these into arrangements, make my wedding flowers beautiful. So I charge them a nice pretty fee and I make my magic happen. For these, I'm adding this in. Normally you can take these stems and clip them all apart and start from completely scratch in designing. This one has a little glue issue. I, however, am not. I'm going to leave this stem the way it is, and I'm just going to start adding flowers in to design around this. I do like going in and pushing the greenery up so that it gives it a little more definition. So if you can see, it's not just the flowers and all the greenery is down here, which a lot of time when you're picking out flowers and they're shipped to you, that's exactly how they are. But I like to shove it up. Then I'll also go in and add more greenery, glue it in, just to give it some more. And I do this to all of the stems. See how I've got that greenery up around there? Then I'll just go in and start placing them where I want them to go. And I am doing this a little bit like a hand-tied bouquet. And when I'm teaching my students, I always say, start down low and then you can choke up, because if you start up here, you're not going to have a lot of room to maneuver your flowers. So start down low. So see how I can move this around? And I'm putting 5 blooms in. This is going to be my bridal bouquet. It's not a huge bouquet, but it's a nice size. Next I'm going to go and take this off, the stems all together. Now I have put an odd number in there. I did 9, and you usually do want to do, you always want to do odd numbers in your wedding work or in any work, in any elements of design. You're usually going to find odd numbers. I mean, nowadays you'll find all kinds of numbers. So nowadays it's really anything goes, I feel like, but at the same time staying within the realms of the principles of design. And doing that, you make beautiful arrangements. Now I'm going to go and just tape my stems together. If you've seen any of the other videos, you know that you want to pull your tape taut. The tighter it gets, the stickier it gets. And I have a little flower wanting to escape his. So let's push him back down in there. Now that I've got these taped off, I'm going to go and put a little glue on the bottom of my ribbon straight from my glue pan. And then I'm going to start covering these stems with my ribbon and just go all the way around. I did want to show, this. Something I do whenever I'm finishing off, I put a little bit of glue right across the top, and then I will fold it, because that is a prettier line than having the end of the ribbon just glued off. So I like to have everything just really crisp and clear lines. So when I finish wrapping it, that's going to be what you see is that clear edge right there. And that's what I've done on the end of this one, except it came out to a little point. If I was walking on water today, it would have come out perfect. But today, it's got a little tiny point. Maybe I'll be working on water tomorrow and get that perfect. And this would be my bride's bouquet. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna bedazzle this up so it looks a little fancier. I am putting glue inside because I just want it really tight around this stem and the ribbon. You want to also make sure all your stems are symmetrical so that your bouquet is of course round. If you're wanting to do more of a cascade, you can elongate it. And here I have done, that one is my bride's, and then my bridesmaid, which is just a little bit slightly smaller. Now I'm going to go in and add ribbon around the stems. Pull off all the glue strings, and there we go. I'm going to go through and add this little sparkly ribbon on it, doing the French knotting or ballerina wrapping on the stem. I'm also going to do it on the maid of honor's bouquet or bridesmaid's bouquet, just to make them a little more refined and a very classic look. The last thing I want to do is I want to just clip the ties. I put a bow on this one, just something a little different. You don't have to do a bow on the end of it. You could just simply clip it once you tie a knot down here at the bottom, and then just tuck the tails up underneath, all the excess ribbon up underneath here. I am going to do a little bow, and the tails, I want to do that little V cut. So to make it simple, and so they're the same, I'm going to place one over top of the other, like this. Line them up exact. Then I'm going to fold that in half. And if you can see that, it's folded in half. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut like this, so it makes a V in the center of that ribbon. There we go. And they're exactly the same. You can see that. Okay. And that is the French knotting with a little sheer bow down at the bottom. And if the ribbon is not laying exactly where you want, you can go and add a little bit of glue, you know, just in little sneaky spots so you don't have to see the mechanics of it. Then I always go back in and I will add my little jewels through here. We'll do that. I love getting these little cards of little jewels that you can do bracelets and things with. I use them to put on the stems. I have gone ahead and clipped off. I'm going to use 3 of them. But if you can see, ooh, damn glue gun. If you can see, it's got a little keyhole on there for when you're making jewelry. I take my wire cutters and I just snap those off. Because I don't want them showing. There, and now it's flat, if you can see that. Our glue gun. Then I put a little bit of glue on the back side. And you can put it on the knot. I like to put it in between the knots so I can actually see the knot on the bouquet. And there we go. And that just makes it a little special for the bride, and she absolutely will love it. Now I'm going to do the French knotting on the Maid of Honor's bouquet, but I'm not going to put the little jewels on it like I did for the bridal bouquet. So I've done the French knotting all the way down the stems on the bridesmaids and the bridal bouquet. I've tied a little bow. Again, you don't have to tie a bow. And then I want to make the little crisp V-neck cut. So again, I'm going to take the ribbons, lay them over top of each other, and then I want to fold that just like that. And you want to make sure everything is lined up exactly, or your cut will not come out perfect. And if you're holding it up like this, you're just going to take your scissors at a downward angle, snip. So you've got that. And there we have our cute little V-cuts. And it just makes the bow look really crisp and clean lines. And that's ultimately what you want in your bouquet. And then this one, I did not put the jewels on it because this is the bridesmaid's bouquet or the maid of honor, and you really want the bride's bouquet to stand out and be different. Like I talked about before, I like to use this Design Master glitter spray, instant sparkle finish, and even though I've got iridescent glitter on all these, I like to have it on everything. So I just give it a quick little spray. And it's definitely a finer sparkle. I do this on the bride's bouquet, the bridesmaid's bouquet. You can use this stuff on poinsettias, roses. I use it all year round, and I just upcharge for any arrangements that I use it on. Fantastic. There we go. Bride's bouquet. Very sparkly. I love it. Until next time, sparkle on.